Well, this has been an amazing campsite with an amazing view, but all good things must come to an end. So, it is just a little past 9. I'm not even gonna look. Let's just say 9:08, 10 past 9. It's been a weird morning, but a great morning. I can't really worry about how late I'm gonna get out of camp because I'm just 5 miles from the road to get to Dunsmeir. I reached out to the Crossroads. I guess we'll call it a hostel, but it's this woman, Kelly Fish, and people say great things about her. She offers outdoor beds and has a mini camper and a mini trailer. So the mini camper is called the Aquarium, and it's available, and that's what I want to stay in. It's kind of a mid-range price, but it sounds nice. I don't need a lot. I've been living in a tent. Speaking of tents, I've been emailing with Gossamer Gear. And so that's a source of stress for me, emailing with Gossamer Gear. But they've come through for me with the pack when I exchanged it, when I got the wrong size, and now with the tent. It's just, I want to resolve it in one shot. I don't want to have an email chain. So I emailed them, they emailed me back, I emailed them, and I was short one piece of information, a PO number or a lot number. But with the video of the leak and the order number, the guy David was like, we can send you a replacement under warranty. So that's a big relief. But my point is that stress is stress is stress. And so once that tent leaked and I spent the night, not freezing, but cold, not using all the gear I wanted to use because I knew that I'd just get it all soaked inside that tent as it rained and leaked. So that was a source of stress that I knew I had to address. Reaching out to Gossamer Gear, hoping that they'd cover it under warranty, and I still have to give them an address to ship the replacement tent. So when I get to Dunsmeir, I'm going to figure out, David said it would be 7 to 10 days. So I don't know, I'm thinking Ashland. I'm thinking the end of this section, Ashland, Oregon. So it's going to take me, starting tomorrow, at least 4, if not 5 days to get to Etna. Can't send it there, and it doesn't make sense to stop anywhere. Might as well just go to Ashland or wherever. I'll look at far out and see where the best address to have it sent to is. I feel like I just want to use a post office, but if it's too hard to get off trail to the post office, if there's a business closer that'll accept the package, I'll do that. But, you know, that was a lot. Just right there, that was a mouthful. Oh yeah, we're back on the PCT. I have to get into Dunsmeir. My trekking pole on the right, the tip broke. I just noticed yesterday that it was cracked, and then throughout the course of the day, it broke. So there's a gear shop, the Fifth Element in Mount Shasta, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it there. The Crossroads says Kelly can bring you to Mount Shasta when she's available. I'll have to wait to see if she's available to do that. So if I could get to Mount Shasta and get the tip replaced, that would probably be in my best interest. Kelly has bicycles that you can borrow. I really like riding a bike around town. I'll go to Dollar General and resupply. Shower, laundry, recharge the batteries in my battery banks, electronics, etc. And I'm gonna spend the night, so I'm only gonna Nero into town like 5 miles, but I think it's for the best. My body, which is another thing, which is why this is going to be so long, and I don't know if I can do it justice. But my body has been going through the rigors the last few days. So it started with my left knee. It was a bad decision to try to extend those trail runners. So the left knee is fine. Turned into a right heel. I'm sure that was overcompensation because my knee was bothering me. And as I looked for a place to put my foot down so I wasn't feeling my right heel so much, there's a bone on the inside of my right foot that was aching on top of my foot yesterday, right near where the shoelaces tie down on it. And I'm sure that has to do with the way I was stepping. I don't feel like I'm walking like myself. Every time I put my right foot down, it's kind of different, like I'm feeling for what's the best way to put this down. And I'm sure that, again, is another overcompensation where now the bone hurts on the top of the foot, on the inside. So it's just one of those things where as things spring up and get sore and start to hurt, you start to change the way you do things. And then all the little seals and gaskets around your body, the surrounding areas, well, they start to get worn out. Pack feels great, as it should. have no food to speak of. I am not in dire straits, but I am slightly starting to pay attention to my timeline. I'm not going to be making the timeline that I want to make. So it's been on my mind, and it's just been a slight source of frustration in the back of my mind ever since Bucks Lake, I suppose. I kind of felt like I wanted to turn it up to 30 miles a day consistently, and I just haven't been able to. Physically, mentally, nothing. So I've wanted to be out of Northern California by the end of the first week of August, and it's July 29th, so I won't do much today. I'll have tomorrow and the 31st to take a couple more chunks out of Northern California, but I won't be out of it, and I won't even be to Etna. It's going to be close. You know, I really wanted to be out of Northern California in the middle of the first week of August, but now it might take a little longer than the 7 days than I thought. I might not be out until the 8th and the 9th of August, and that just is going to put pressure on me because I wanted to get out of Oregon by the end of August, and I wanted to have all of September to take my time in Washington. If I don't get out of Oregon, and I'm looking way too far ahead, but it's getting to the point where I do have to be aware of this. If I don't get out of Oregon until the first week of September, well, now I only have 3 weeks in September to get out of Washington, and I have to push through Washington faster than I wanted to. It'll be harder to push through Washington than Oregon, from what I understand. But I don't really want to be hiking very long in October. I know some people do. Every year it's going to be different, but you're on borrowed time at that point. So that's also been something that's on my mind, and it's very real. If I don't start kicking up these miles consistently every day, then I'm looking at more than I can do, not being able to take days off, and feeling pressure with a lot of miles to go, over 1,000, a lot of sections to go, two states to go. So that's just something where it's been fun and carefree up until now, and that's the way I would prefer to hike. But with my start date and the time off that I've taken, just double zeros, 000 in Mojave, maybe 3 days in Kennedy Meadow South, but with the days off I've taken, it's put me where I am now. I'm gonna have to take a time out and deal with this blowdown. I hate going up these things, and I'm not going around it. So I'm gonna try to go over it, but this was all day yesterday with these blowdowns. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 1,499, 1,500. Make a pretty good time. I mean, it's just 5 miles away from the road, but I think I'll be there at 11:15. I'm gonna text that woman Kelly when I get to this water source. This should be coming up real soon, and let her know I'll be there early. Time to grab a little water, text Kelly Fish from Crossroads, and let her know I'll be to I-5 Soda Creek Road a little sooner than I thought. So as I was just walking up on the water source, filtering some water, sitting there, a hiker who I've seen a few times, going all the way back to before Tehachapi in Mojave. I can't remember the first time I saw this hiker, but they were going southbound, and you automatically think something's wrong, like they dropped something. So I was like, is everything okay? You're going Sobo now? And they were like, yeah, everything's okay. I had a blister, and I'm going back to hike the miles that I missed. And it's just this time of the hike where so many people have skipped and jumped and moved around from South Lake Tahoe and Truckee, skipping things like the Feather Lake, Burning Scar, and jumping ahead, skipping Northern California, going to Oregon, and just, hiking their own hike, but they're not really hiking it. So whatever you want to call that, but I just respect the hell out of this hiker for backtracking and getting miles. I'm sitting here calculating, can I finish at the pace that I want to finish and finish on time? And they are moving backwards on the map to make sure they hike the whole trail. So I really respect that. I am basically at the junction of Silver Creek Road and Interstate 5. You can see it right up there. So this is a reroute. PCT goes left. I guess you used to cross over or under that way. This is where I am going to loiter and wait for Kellyfish to pick me up. I'm gonna do it in the shade if I can. And we will see what happens with the tent and the trekking pole tips and the resupply and resting and all that fun stuff. Well, I am at a crossroads, literally and figuratively. So let me give you a quick tour as it's been shown to me. First of all, I know I'm in the right place because at the hiker box there were 2 trekking poles and I can take the tips off of those and replace mine. So now I don't have to go to Mount Shasta, which is huge. I can just relax here, get things done on my phone, use the internet. This is the fishbowl, so it's a tiny trailer. It's supposed to get ice cold in there in seconds, if not minutes. So it's cute, it's all I need. Just someplace to be cool and sleep. It's not the ground. I also got toilet paper, a new bag because my toiletry bag is ripped, and some anti-chafing, so I needed to get some Vaseline intensive care at the store. I'll just use that. Saves me some money. I also got like 1 Carnation instant breakfast and 1 of that brand of instant coffee. I can't even remember the name of it, but the one that I just tried. So this is the outdoor living room. This is a tiny cabin, I think. That's a tiny cabin over there. This is something though. Hiker box, first aid, shower. It's an old tub. A kitchen area. You can cook. There's pancake mix down there. Syrup. There is a blackberry bush over there that I'm gonna check out. There's a porta potty around the bend, and the laundry's right behind this blue door. That's how you know you're in the right place. I'm just gonna do my laundry and relax and make my way to Dollar General on the bicycles. So there's the bicycles that they lend you so you can take a ride into town. It's the end of an era, but it's time. I'm glad to be done with these. I don't want to put them in the trash barrel if they take up too much space, but those are officially thrown out. Very juicy. Maybe the best blackberries I've ever had. That goes for Shenandoah on the Appalachian Trail too.
I'm gonna take this bike for a test ride. I'm gonna take these sunglasses for a test ride too.
So I'm on my way to the Dollar General. Get my resupply, go back, shower, laundry. It didn't make sense to shower or just sweat my butt off in my laundry clothes while I rode the bike down to the Dollar General. I also reached out to Southern Oregon Ashland Trail Angel group looking for a trail angel or business to mail my replacement tent to. I was gonna just use the post office, but the post office is closed Saturday and Sunday, and I'm afraid I'm gonna be there on the weekend, so I'd rather send it someplace where I can pick it up 7 days a week. And I'd like to send it to Ashland because that should be beyond the 7 to 10 days it's gonna take to get there, and I don't particularly feel like dilly-dallying with where I send the tent to because it could rain for 3, 4, 5 days straight, and I don't have any faith in the seams on the tent that I have right now. So I'm really, really happy that costing the gear is warranty and the tent I have, and I just want to get it done. A love-hate relationship with this Dollar General in particular. This is absolutely the weirdest resupply I've ever gotten in my life. I don't even know what to make of it. Some of it is things I usually get, but I had to get a lot of weird things with high calories that I wouldn't normally get because they don't have a lot of bars at Dollar Generals. I just bumped into Cam, Austin/Boomerang, Chris. I haven't seen him since the water source a few days out of Mount Laguna. I've been thinking about Boomerang and Cam and Chris, and it was awesome to see them. An otherwise beautiful day is being ruined by the amount of times this bicycle chain is falling off. It's in the dozens. Okay, so bringing it back to Crossroads and looking at it, this is the weirdest resupply I've ever had. But it needs to be potentially 5 days, 4.5 days, 5 days. So it's 100 miles. Maybe I can do it in 4. You know, maybe I get a late start tomorrow and it ends up being 4.5, but I need the calories. So breakfast, you know, this sort of a thing for breakfast. If I run out of that, I suppose I could be eating cookies for breakfast. These are kind of my utility players, my swingmen, just for extra calories. Some of the things I got, I don't think are gonna do well in the heat. I have no idea what's in there, but it feels super smushy. It feels like a Rice Krispie, dark chocolate, marshmallow, sea salt type of a bar. And the consistency isn't the same as it was in the store. So I'm afraid of that in the heat. I brought the chocolate Nutter Butters and put them in the refrigerator. I'm gonna eat those tonight. I'm not bringing them on trail. These are super heavy, but they're 710 calories. So really weird recovery, all carbs and sugar. But dinners, I forgot to get a dinner. I have another one in here, but it's not going to be enough type of a thing. If I have to have 5 dinners, I only have 4, so I don't know, we'll see. And for tonight, I got a pizza from the pizza factory. Not bad. It's basically a Domino's though, nothing fancy. Really heavy, thick crust, heavy cheese. The sauce is sweet and okay. We won't starve to death. That's the least of our problems, but it's gonna be a weird food carry. Drying laundry, had our pizza, have to sort out our resupply and pack our bag. It's already been a busy day.